Although, seeing as how I just covered a part of my childhood that nobody else seemed to talk about, I'm in the mood to do more. So, um, what am I going to do next that's part of my childhood? Hmm. Oh, hey, I could talk about the PS2, but I can't talk about the system as a whole. There's gotta be a specific game. Oh, oh. Now I remember this one. Next time. Oh wow, this lighting is awful. But anyway, this is most likely the only time I'm showing this. But usually after I shower, I like to record, but I can't immediately wear the iconic cap because my hair was too wet. So usually I just need to really rub this and there we go. Let's get this party started. Hello, everybody. You know, after covering Oscar's Oasis, I've been feeling pretty nostalgic. Meet my PS2 before the Wii inevitably took over my life. My first console was this little thing, playing games like that one Cars game, those two SpongeBob games, and the topic for this video, Tom and Jerry, War of the Whiskers. I skimmed and probably missed a couple of other games, but whatever. My history of Tom and Jerry goes way back then, thanks to my family. I watched the cartoons, I owned the DVDs, and I even saw those weird crossovers. Classics like Wizard of Oz or Johnny Quest. Mm. The next thing you'll tell me is the older one with WWE. Oh, god damn it. Regardless, my family's love for the good old cartoons are what I have to thank for me becoming a fan. So let's get into Tom and Jerry, War of the Whiskers, and Knuckles. It probably make more sense if I actually showed the game for proof. Don't ask me why the broken disc contains art from the Nutcrackers movie. I don't know. On with the game.
Quick note, Estingus forgot to mention that he'll be playing the GameCube version since both its store disc and console don't function.
The game is a 3D platforming fighter, essentially a combination between Tekken and Smash. Get 11 characters in total. 2 you get are playable characters, with the rest, 9, being unlockable. But honestly, they all played the same, and I wish they gave some of them small changes, like having Jerry be the fastest out of everyone, with Nimbles still being just as fast, but a little bit more slower. Spike, Eagle, and Lion can be the strongest, with the only stronger character being Monster Jerry, who, unlike normal Jerry, is weak and pathetic when not in his monster form. Tom and Butch are weaker than Spike, but still stronger than Tyke and Duckling. Oh, and Robo Tom is as strong as regular Vanilla Tom, but you get the point. Why didn't they do that? Maybe they didn't have enough time. I don't know. But the game offers several game modes, so let's start with single player. At the start, you don't have a lot of characters to choose from. In fact, you can only choose 2. But depending on which one you choose, changes the order of the enemies and maps. The maps are usually small, almost sandbox-like, with some verticality present. One thing they all have in common, aside from having title cards, which is a cute touch, they all have some sort of gimmick to not only shake things up, but also keep you on your toes, like the stove randomly emitting fire, or the fridge freezing the floor in a fridge too far, an avalanche in Snow Fight, a huge swarm of bees in Chow Meow, or the sharks that come in the water rise in Paws. Har har. They're fine, but I do wish they weren't so easy to dodge. The graphics are one of the weirder aspects of this game. Some characters look alright, like Jerry, and some characters look weird, like Tom. What's up with the eyes? Everything else looks fine, it's just the eyes. The environments look pretty good, if a little bland, but when the game tries to replicate the cartoony violence on the characters, that's when the graphics kinda falls apart. Like when you get flattened, it looks like all kinds of weird when they get up. Some don't even look finished, like the snowman after getting hit by the avalanche. The controls are simple, but since I can't really find the controls for the GameCube version, I'm just going to tell you the one for the PS2 instead. You move around with the left stick, and you can press X to jump. It's honestly kind of floaty. You press and mash the square button for kicks and the triangle button for punches. When your opponent is down, you can grab them with the O button and throw them into the stage hazards. It can also be used to grab and drop weapons. You can press both the L2 and R2 to use your tongue, which fills up the berserk meter. Once your berserk meter is full, you can press those same 2 buttons, and fear not, the icon of your character is furious. I'm angry. War. The models have this red effect, which admittedly looks odd. Why didn't they just change the texture or even the expression to match the icon? but instead they become faster, stronger, and can be used to win really fast. It's a little too overpowered, but that's what also makes it fun. I do wish they weren't handed out like candy though. Items can sometimes spawn in, usually being in theme with the current stage, like the crab from Pause, for example. I guess they can be helpful, but they don't really provide something that a punch and kick doesn't.
Buster, ready! He loses.
However, single player does become pretty repetitive once you gotta do it for the other 9 characters. Yeah, they switch up the order of who you face, but you're still essentially doing the same thing. Honestly, a little diversity to make us breathe from the repetitiveness, like how in Street Fighter 2 there's the car destroying bonus thing. But there's two things that make this repetitiveness almost worth it: the multiplayer, and what I'm about to talk about next, the music. Oh, the music. It's orchestra jazz goodness. My personal favorite being Xiao Miao's theme. You can actually unlock costumes by smashing certain things in certain levels with certain characters. The costume you get will only be for the character you're playing as, so a Tom costume will only appear when you play as Tom. I have one problem with this, and that is that could be anywhere and everywhere. So to avoid wasting time, I had my brother help out with the spots for the costumes for all the characters. Some of them are cute references to the ones that appeared in the shorts, and some are just darker than the regular normal alternative, as the game puts it. The only costume I wish they included is a chicken costume. You lose your dignity, but it'd be really funny to see Tom in a chicken costume beating up someone, for example. Now, with fighting games, typically they're best played with friends, or in my case, your older brother. So the following modes are available for multiplayer. Versus is the typical one-on-one match where you can choose the map you unlocked from single player and 2 more exclusive multiplayer maps. It is a high energy, high frantic fun. Sure, sometimes it feels one-sided and sometimes your opponent slaps you silly to the point you're essentially a joking hazard. Oh, it's a great time for the opponent, but deep inside you just want to choke them out. But it's an overall fun time. One thing to note is that the PS2 version can only go up to 2 players, while the Xbox and GameCube versions can go up to 4. Didn't the PS2 also have a multi-tap that allows up to 4 just like the PS1? Why stop at 2? Another mode is Tag Versus. It's essentially versus, except there's teams. Each team has 2 characters and one of them can be tagged in at any moment. It's only recommended to tag in when the character you are using is low on health. That way they can slowly recover their health, while the other character can take over the fighting since they still have their full health. Stop it. Stop using that move over and over. Stop it. Stop. You know what? You asked for it. In fact, that's another problem I have with this game. When using any other characters, the CPU tends to rely a lot on blocking, which you can just do this. But when it's CPU controlling robocat, the only thing the CPU will do is use that fire move over and over and over again. It's really annoying. But back to Tag Versus, I actually hate how you can accidentally hit your teammate. It can really cause a lot of mess ups, and when your teammate also dies, it pretty much leaves you on a 2-on-1, which is pretty unfair. Other than that, I'd say that Tag Versus is really fun. And then there's Tag Team. You and your buddies are on the same team against another team. It's honestly really fun working together, having each take out one, but it has the same problem as Tag Versus, where you can still hit your teammate by accident. But I actually find Tag Team a lot more fun than Tag Versus.
Diarrhea flows like a river.
So there you have it. That was Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers. Overall, as a single player fighting game, it really was the most repetitive thing of all time. You're really doing the same thing over and over and over again to unlock all of the characters. But as a multiplayer fighting game, honestly, that part is way better. It's certainly a lot more fun, and you get to beat the crap out of your friend, possibly losing your friendship. But beating up your friends is good by me. So, now that I finally got a childhood out of my way, I should clarify though that this isn't really something that you are going to play all the time. It's, for me anyway, it's only really something to play with friends when you really, really feel like it in that particular mood. But Now I'm um those new Tom and Jerry by Cartoon Network Asia are actually really great and bring in a fresh of breath air that Warner Brothers US has really been not given. Ooh, speaking of Warner Brothers, next time we're going to take a look at Tiny Toons Buster Bust Loose on the Super Nintendo. See you guys next time.
Jerry loses. Tom wins!
Wait a minute. It's at the same time. Let me start. So there you have it. Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers. Overall, as a single player game, it that was a blooper.
Why, Spiral? Why?